your lighting director.
Welcome to Blitz. This is a narrative battle report on the SkaredCast channel, where the Dark Eldar and Eldar allies will be pushing through a Crimson Fist defensive line. Stay tuned as the battle rages on and the sustained assault is what carries the day. Hello, and welcome to another SkaredCast battle report. Today I'm playing Rob.
Hi.
He does say hi with great gusto, doesn't he? So we're playing Blitz. It's a narrative mission from the Warhammer 40,000 8th edition rulebook. And we have a combined force of Eldar and Dark Eldar that are going to be deployed essentially in this section of the battlefield. This is no man's land. This is the first defensive line, and this is the second defensive line. The aim of the Crimson Fist is to stop the Dark Eldar and Eldar force from penetrating through the defensive lines. It's a hastily prepared defensive line with few fortifications. They've been able to use some of the geographic features to their advantage, and a hastily placed Aegis defense line, as well as some of the old Manufactorum locations by the Oasis. So let's look at the armies, and then we'll go through deployment. And here we have 75 power level of Crimson Fists. Rob, take it away.
At the beginning, we have a Primaris Psyker.
Very cool. I love the model.
Thank
it's
you.
a great model.
Right next to him, we have my Warlord, Pedro Cantor.
That is a really cool conversion with the banner for Pedro Cantor.
And then a Primaris Lieutenant at his side.
I love it. Lieutenant, reroll 1s to wound.
Yes. And we have a 10-man unit of Intercessors.
Good old 20 wounds worth of power armor right there.
Yep. And then 2 5-man squad of Intercessors as well.
Fabulous. Do they have grenade launchers?
Yes, they each have grenade launchers and power swords.
Oh, very cool. Now that they can have power swords and their bolt rifles?
Yes.
Get excited.
And then a 10-man unit of Reavers.
Oh my goodness. Reavers are really good. I love Reavers.
The Redemptor Dreadnought with the minigun variant.
Lots of shots.
Oh yeah. A trusty 5-man unit of Hellblasters.
To kill some stuff.
And then Aggressors with bolters.
They're really good. Lots and lots of strength force shooting. So that is 75 power levels. About 1,500 points in total, give or take. And he will be defending. So the Aeldari, the Eldar and Drukhari will attempt to break through Pedro Cantor's defensive lines. We'll be back with the Drukhari force. And we have 75 power level of Aeldari and Drukhari that are going to blitz the Crimson Fist line in this narrative battle report. So, I have an Uthway battalion, and I have a Dark Eldar elite choice force. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's Vanguard or something like that. So let's start with the Dark Eldar. Leading the force, we have Urien Rakarth, the Flesh Master himself, always looking, fluff-wise, for better ways to die. So that's literally what he does. He just likes dying. He brought 2 of his units of pain engines, flesh engines, 3-man units of grotesque with liquefy guns. And then we have a Beast Master who has brought 12 Razorwing flocks as cannon fodder for the assault. Then we have the Talos, which is another one of Urien Rakarth's creations. Rob has a vendetta against this particular model. One of the fun things about playing narrative games, when you play friends, you can always bring the models that drive them crazy, and hopefully they get emotionally attached to destroying things. Which is awesome. And then Urien Rakarth has brought 20 Cabalite warriors with an Agonizer, 2 blasters, and 2 Dark Lances as well. This is my Dark Eldar force. And in the Aeldari, we've got the battalion. So my Uthway Farseer is the Warlord. He has brought an avatar of Cain to help spearhead the assault on the Crimson Fist line. And then we have a small unit of 5 Dire Avengers, a small unit of 5 Rangers, and a 20-man Guardian blob with 2 Bright Lances. They are Uthway, which is pretty cool, using some extra stratagems. Now, I randomly got Rob to pick my Psychic Pass, and he picked Doom and Guide for my Farseer, while the Primaris Psyker has Null Zone and Psychic Scourge, as well as his Smite. Okay, well, we're moving on to deployment. We shall return as the forces array for battle. Okay, let's look at the deployment. So, the Defender deploys all the terrain. So Rob set up all the terrain. Now, based on previous experience, when you are playing a narrative battle report or game, we highly recommend that you know who is attacking and who is defending before you make army lists. It will make for a much more entertaining battle. So the attacker placed all the terrain, and he has a secret secret marker for each of his units. So he's going to go now and deploy 10 different markers, because he has 10 units in his army. Each marker corresponds to one of the units. So I have no idea where his army is going to be deployed. Then I deploy my entire army in this section here, and I conduct a preliminary bombardment that will allow me to hopefully do some damage to his units. Now, we do have a variety of stratagems we can use in the pre-game, which is pretty cool, as well as some additional stratagems we can use as the game is raging on, like killing models when they come in for booby traps, or having units force march their way up the battlefield. Essentially, this is going to be an absolute brutal bloodbath of a game. I'm very excited, and Rob is now going to go and put down his hidden objective, or his hidden deployment markers. So Rob has deployed his 10 units, and he's put 10 different markers down. So we have unit number 3, number 5, number 7, number 10, number 2, number 6, number 8, number 1, number 9. And I have no idea what they are. And then back here we have number 4 as well in the Oasis. So now I have to deploy my entire army. There's Hellblasters or Intercessors, and then there's a Librarian, and we've got Pedro Cantor, and oh my goodness, and he's in a big block, so I can only imagine that Pedro Cantor is right in the middle of that whole big block, because that's kind of... So strategically, you need to look at this. It's kind of cool. So now let's see how the Aeldari decide to attack this position. The Aeldari and Drukhari forces are arrayed for battle. They have drawn their battle line, all like this. The entire population of one of the craft worlds. Just kidding. Just it looks like a lot of models for an Eldar army. And of course, Urien Rakath up the middle with a Talos, his meat shields, the Avatar, the Farseer, and the Drukhari allies, together with some of the outcasts and the Dire Avengers with the beasts ready to push up the side. Okay, so we're moving on to reveal. And Rob is going to reveal by just putting one model from each of the units at the intended location, so that you can see live what machinations he has in store for this game. So this is a unit of
5-man intercessors.
Ooh, 5-man intercessors, the bait. Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Here we have the 10-man intercessors.
Oh, very cool. He's put heavy up on the flank.
Here we have the lieutenant.
Very cool. Supporting the 10-man intercessor unit. Cantor. Called it.
The quite obvious middle of the army, Pedro Cantor.
Called that one. I'm pretty sure you did, faithful watchers.
Hellblasters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in the ruins. Good.
Back over here, we have a librarian.
Very nice. Back there. Dreadnought right next to him.
Dreadnought right next to him.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. It's like it was meant to be.
Down here, we have another unit of 5-man intercessors.
Oh, so 10 and 10. Okay, I see.
For the front lines.
And then we've got
some aggressors in the back line.
Yeah, so I can't shoot them. Very smart, keeping them out of line of sight. So because they're gonna rake my lines later in the game. That's for sure. And then
we have some sneaky reavers coming out of the river.
Yeah, you go, reavers, and they've got the assault bolters, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll be back after the Space Marines have put down their army. Okay, the Crimson Fists have deployed their forces. 10, 5, 5 intercessors, Pedro Cantor, Lieutenant, Hellblasters, Librarian, the Dreadnought, Reavers coming out of the little river oasis thing, and the aggressors back here. So now, the Eldari have come prepared. I'm using my cool dice from the darkcity.net forum. Thank you guys for sending me some dice. That was pretty cool to the channel. And on a 6, they get hit with D6 mortal wounds as the bombardment hits down. Now, he can use command points to if they get hit on an infantry unit, he can reduce it to a D3, but it costs, I believe, a command point.
Yes.
Okay, so the 10-man unit of intercessors. That is a 1. The 5-man unit at the front here. That is a 5. The 5-man unit here. That is cocked. Oh, they're going to get hit with... Are you going to go to ground? Okay, there's a correction. It's within the preliminary bombardment rules. They can essentially hit the deck. It doesn't cost any command points. It goes down to D3, but it also means that they can't do anything in the first player turn, essentially, in the first game turn. Okay, so D3 mortal wounds. Hiya! 1. You blam. Okay, so we're gonna go try to get some characters. Pedro Cantor, no, and the lieutenant, nope. That was close. The Hellblasters, no. The Dreadnought, no. The Librarian. Oh, God. Is he gonna go to the ground for D3 instead of D6?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend that.
Yes.
He's going to hit the deck, so he's going to take D3 mortal wounds. 2. Okay, so, sorry, 1. So he takes a mortal wound, but he's also hit the deck. The aggressors, they do not get hit. And last but not least, the Reavers. Oh, they get hit. Are they going to hit the deck? It's a long game.
They'll take the D6.
Oh my goodness gracious. Drum roll, please. 5. Oh. So 2 of them die as they get swallowed by the landing shells or poison or whatever it is you want to call it. 1 takes a wound. Okay, and with that, we start the game. Rob, have a fantastic game, sir.
Good luck.
Good luck. And with that, the attackers take the first turn. Aeldari, turn 1, saw the entire wave move forward and advance, essentially. The Guardians used Discipline of the Black Guardians and were fortuned. Doom did fail on the big unit, but they were able to lay low 2 of the intercessors and put a wound on another one. Other sporadic firepower, especially from the Rangers in the backfield, took a wound off of the 5-man unit, that is gone to ground, so they've lost a model. And the 2 Lancers from the Dark Eldar unit failed to hit the Dreadnought. So with that, the Space Marines sally forth to the oncoming horde. So let's see what the wily ways of Pedro Cantor happen as the Dark Eldar and Eldar forces encroach on his battle line. What an epic showdown. Space Marine, turn 1. So on the flank, we had the Reavers move in advance and do 8 wounds to the birds, killing 2 of the bases. This unit did nothing. The Librarian did nothing as they licked their wounds. And then a lot of shooting from a lot of bolter fire and Dreadnought killed 1 grotesque from each unit and killed 9 Guardians out of the unit Guardians, but the Avatar does make them fearless, so they're not going anywhere. I did burn a command point to give them a 4+ invulnerable save with Celestial Shield. So now we're moving on to the next turn, where we start putting pressure directly on the Space Marine lines. Okay, the Eldar have struck the Space Marine line with great effect. Doom went off on the big 8-man unit. Lots of shooting, did see that go down to 1 man, and he passed his morale, rolling a 1, which was incredible. The rest of the shooting came over in combat. I killed 1 more intercessor here and 2 more intercessors in that unit. And the Avatar and the Lancers in the Guardian unit put 12 wounds on the Dreadnought. He has 1 wound remaining, but he is not dead yet. So, it's looking grim for the Space Marines, but Pedro Cantor, the Librarian, and his lieutenants, and his Hellblasters, and even the Reavers and the Aggressors must push back the Eldar onslaught. What will they do? Leave a comment down below. Do you think, like many times before, the Crimson Fists will snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, as they have in countless battles before them? Or will the tide of Aeldari finally crack the code to dealing with Primaris Marines? On to the next turn. Space Marine turn 2. The Space Marines had to push the enemy advance back. We had the Reavers and a lot of shooting bring down 10 Razorwing flocks to 1 Razorwing flock with a combination of shooting and combat. And the Razorwing stayed, well, there were 3, and then I lost 2 more in morale, but 1 is still alive. Other combat saw 1 of the Grotesques die, 1 of the Grotesques take 2 wounds, and the Talos did die to a charge from the Dreadnought, while the Lieutenant has tried to charge in and tie up the Guardians as well. So the Hellblasters helped take out the Talos. They overcharged, they only lost 1 of their number, and the Aggressors are here in the backfield, ready to put some pressure on the Aeldari force. So we're moving on to turn 3, and so far it is definitely a bloody fight. The 10-man unit of intercessors is no more, as he tried to charge in and died in Overwatch because he was doomed. And that does affect you in both turns, which is crazy. Okay, moving on to the next turn. I do get to recycle units because it is a sustained assault. The only unit I get to roll for is my Talos, and he arrives on a 4+. He comes back to the battlefield, and he does not. Rob does not like my Talos.
Go away!
So he stays off the board. Okay, Aeldari turn 3. The Warlords both died. The Avatar of Cain charged into Pedro Cantor, punked him, doing 18 damage. And then Pedro Cantor, as he fell over, spent 2 command points to punch the Avatar in the face and do 4 wounds. My Farseer thought he could survive against a Mastercrafted Power Sword Lieutenant, and did not survive against a Mastercrafted Lieutenant. The Guardians fell back and used Feigned Retreat. With 2 command points, they were able to shoot again, and they killed the 2-man unit. While this big blob of Cabalite Warriors killed the Dreadnought. Urian Rakarth has charged into the Librarian, and he's still in combat, while I put 1 wound on the Reapers over here as well. Reavers, sorry. So we're moving on to Space Marine turn 3. They have started to get some points, and it looks like with the death of the Farseer, they won't have to worry about Doom or things like Fortune anymore, which is really good for them. And they still have a lot of their firebase unhindered. Okay, let's see what happens after this. We had the Reavers charge in, take the last wound off the Avatar after taking a complete pounding. The Guardians use the last command point to get a Celestial Shield to save them from the Hell Blaster volley guns in the far corner. I did lose a Razorwing, and Urian Rakarth has taken 1 wound, but he is fighting
intercessors and the librarian, while the 2 grotesques destroyed the lieutenant with their mortal wounds and high volume of strength 5 attacks. So we counted up points. Rob and the Crimson Fists take 1 point for each unit they've killed. They have killed 5 units in total. My Talos, my Avatar, my Farseer, my Razorwing Phlox, and 1 unit of Grotesques. I get 1 point for each of my units that's in this section of the board. So I have 1 Grotesque Guardians, 2, Urien 3, the Dire Avengers 4, and this Beastmaster 5. And I get 2 points for each unit in this section. I don't have any. So right now we're going into turn 4 and the game is tied. So after the movement phase, I'll roll to see if any of my units come back, but I've run out of command points. So they're starting within 6 inches of the edge of the board and they can't go any further. So we'll see. They're going to have to essentially run up and maybe get me a few points at the end of the game if the game goes on. But this is still anyone's match, and he still has his heavy firepower ready to cleanse me. So we're moving on to turn 4. Okay, Dark Eldar, turn 4. Okay, so I fell back with Uri and Rakath. I shot into the intercessors and then charged in with everything. I did kill the librarian with the Cabalite Warriors. They charged in, but the Cabalite Warriors lost 8 of their number because the Reavers just ripped them to shreds. I did kill 1 of the aggressors and 1 of the Hellblasters in shooting. In my turn, the only thing that arrived were the Razorwings. They have recycled, which is good because they're fast. They're going to try to get some points. While the Pathfinders did put a wound on the Librarian, helping to kill him as well. So moving on to turn 4 for the Crimson Fists. And right now, we've got the Reavers in combat. We've got the Intercessors stuck in combat. And we've got the Guardians out in the open. So we'll see what happens as they let loose. Oh, and we've got a Beastmaster back here, being all sneaky-like, trying to sneak behind enemy lines. Let's see if they wipe him clean in turn 4. Okay, so Space Marine, turn 4. Wow, we lost all the Guardians. We lost all the Dire Avengers. We lost the Grotesques to a great Power Fist hit. A couple of Power Fist hits from the Sergeant. And I lost a few more of the Cabalite Warriors. So, all in all, the Space Marines have killed 8 units. And right now I have 1 point, 2 points, 3, 4 points. 4 points going into turn 5. Will the Dark Eldar assault with the Drukhari and Aeldari force be able to break through the Space Marine iron, or will the brave Space Marines hold the flank? We will see. It's still anyone's game. I have the Razorwings that have come in, and I still have the Pathfinders over here. So we shall see. I need it to go on. If it doesn't go on, this game is pretty much over. So let's see how the game continues on to turn 5. Okay, so Dark Eldar and Eldar, turn 5. Lost a few more of the Cabalite Warriors, but they held because they are fearless. The Snipers did shoot at the Hellblasters, but they passed their armor saves. And the Aggressors knocked Uri and Rakath with 3 wounds, and he failed all his power from pain, so he's dead. I did get the unit of Guardians back, a Farseer back, and a unit of Grotesques back. And then the Razorwings advanced 3 inches, so they're 15 inches up the board. But we're moving into the 5th turn for the Space Marines, and they have a commanding view of the battlefield here. What will I be able to do? I do not know. As we move into the end of the game. And we have the end of Space Marine turn 5, right? 5?
5.
Yes. So the Reavers and the Intercessors murdered the last Cabalites they had. The Hellblasters and the Aggressors moved in, fired, killed 5 bases, combined with morale as well. And right now, we're sitting at 10 points for the Crimson Fists, and I have 2 points as my Beastmaster is hiding in the second line. So there's an 8-point difference. If the game continues, I might, with turn 6 and 7, maybe do some damage and push some guys into the backfield, but I doubt that that will be the case. So let's see if the game continues. And the game is over. Rob, good game.
Good game.
The Dark Eldar and Eldar have been thwarted as the Crimson Fists hold the line. What a really fun game, sir. So tell me, any last comments at the end of the game? Because it was looking pretty grim towards turn 3 over here for you.
Yes, turn 1 and 2 were very... The dice were not with me. I thought I was failing out with it. And then, I guess as soon as the aggressors came out and started doing their work with the Reavers in combat, it started to turn around a little bit. And then I had some... I think I used stratagems at the correct time, but it was back and forth throughout a couple rounds. So I thought it was a very good game.
That was really, really fun. So thanks a lot for playing, sir. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the game, and if you'd like to see more cool thematic games like this on the channel. A big shout out to all the Patreons who help support the channel and help me create content. Unlock some cool chats and stuff with the Patreon. Links down below if you'd like to become one of the Dark City Spires members. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot. This is Skari, tuning out. Till next time, Skari out. It's an exclusive. We're playing the game. Lots of shooting.